Hello friends, myself Professor B.D. Bhoknal, Associate Professor, Botany Department, KTCHM College, Nasik. Now today's subject is Cryptogamic Botany. Within that, external morphology, that is external morphology of Mercantia, Anthoceros and Polytrichum. Now Mercantia. Now these Mercantia plant, it belongs to Bryophyta. Within Bryophyta, it belongs to class Hepaticopsida. In Mercantia, it is cosmopolitan in habitat. The plants found in cold, moist and shady places. They may be found nearby streams and damp places. Mercantia palmata, reported from Utakmand, Uti. The name Mercantia is given by French botanist, that is Marchant, in the memory of his father. In India, most species found in Himalaya. The plants are thalloid. There is no differentiation of now root, stem and leaves. Plant body is dorso-ventrally flattened and it is dichotomously branched. At the apex of each branch, notched on the dorsal side midrib, and number of polygonal areas. Each air pore is made up of 3 to 4 cells in each tier. Certain cup-like structures are present along the midrib and are known as Jima cup. Jima cup consists of lens-shaped body known as Jima body. Jima body is detached from the Jima cup and it is fallen on moist soil. In this way, now vegetative propagation generally take place in Mercantia. These are vegetative reproductive bodies. The ventral surface bear scales and rhizoids. Now the rhizoids are two types, smoothwort rhizoid and tuberculated type of rhizoids. The sex organs are present on the stalked male and female receptacle. Sex organs are generally elevated. They are present on particular height. The male receptacle is known as Anthridiophore and the female receptacle is known as Archegoniophore respectively. All these species are now dioecious. It means now the male sex organ, it is present on one plant, while the female sex organ, it is present on different plant. Sexes are present on two different plant, that is dioecious condition. Now see within this diagram Mercantia. This Mercantia, it belongs to class Hepaticopsida, and it generally show two types of rhizoid, smooth wall type of rhizoid and tuberculated type of rhizoid. Scales are also present in case of Mercantia. Now see the sex organ, they are generally elevated. They are present on particular height. The now sex organs generally on the now dorsal side, umbrella like structure is there, and these are nothing but now the receptacle. He is having male as well as female sex organ. The plants are generally dioecious. Male sex organ is separate and female sex organ, it is separate plant. Next, Anthoceros. Now this Anthoceros, it belongs to class Anthoceropsida. The different species of Anthoceros occurs in the tropical and temperate regions. About 25 species grows in India, mostly in Himalayas and other hills. The plant grows in moist, shady places, especially on the side of ditches, in the moist cavities of rocks, on decaying wood, and on moist soil. It is thallose. Plant body is thalloid. There is no differentiation of root, stem, and leaves. Plant body is dorso-ventrally flattened. It is thin and it is variously now lobed. The thalli are small and usually grows overlapping in small patches. Plants are less often dichotomously branched and they lack of definite midrib. The dorsal surface of thallus is generally now smooth. The ventral surface bears smooth-walled rhizoids only. Tuberculated rhizoids and scales are totally absent in case of Anthoceros. It lacks tuberculated rhizoids and scales. On the ventral side, generally few bluish spots are seen with a hand lens or even with naked eye, whereas blue-green algae, now nostoc, is located within it. The sex organs are situated on the dorsal side and embedded in the tissues of the thallus. The sporophyte, however, is linear, elongated structure arising from dorsal side. The sporophyte in case of Anthoceros, it is differentiated into bulbous foot, then now capsule only. Seta is totally absent in case of Anthoceros. Now the instead of seta, a meristematic zone is present. This meristematic zone consists of meristematic tissue. So the spore production mechanism, it is continuously going on within the sporophyte of Anthoceros. Now see within this diagram of Anthoceros. Now the Anthoceros, it belongs to class Anthoceropsida. Now see the plant body. Plant body, it is thalloid. There is no differentiation of root, stem and leaves. Now rhizoids are present. Rhizoids are only smooth wall type of rhizoid, tuberculated type of rhizoids, and the scales are totally absent in case of Anthoceros. In case of Anthoceros, a distinct midrib is totally absent. Then see now here, in case of Anthoceros, these now on the dorsal side of thallus, horn-like projections are there, or horn-like structures are present on the thallus. These are nothing but now the sporophyte. So these Anthoceratopsida, it is also commonly known as now the hornwort, because horn-like sporophytes are present on the thallus. Then Polytrichum. Polytrichum is a genus of mosses. This Polytrichum, it belongs to class now Bryophytes. Polytrichum is a genus of mosses, commonly called as haircap moss or hair moss, which contain approximately now 70 species that are cover cosmopolitan distribution. Polytrichum is dioecious. It means male, and now these female sex organ, they are generally present on two different plant. Male plant is separate and the female plant is also now separate. Anthridia and Archegonia occur on two different plants, that is dioecious condition. Polytrichum have worldwide distribution. They are very common in cool temperature and tropical regions. Plants live in cool and shady places. The main plant body is of gametophyte. It is not thalloid. It is distinguished into now the rhizoids, axis, and leaf-like structure. The adult plant consists of two parts, rhizome and upright leafy shoot. Rhizome, it is horizontal portion and it grows underground. It bears three rows of small brown or colorless leaves. It also bears rhizoids. The cells of rich in protoplasm and now the oil globules. Upright leafy shoots. The leafy shoots are much longer. It is most conspicuous part of the plant. It arises from rhizome. These branches consist of central axis. These branches bear large leaves arranged spirally surrounding the main stem. Leaves have broad bases. Leaves in the upper portions are green, but the lower ones are brown in color. Each leaf has broad colorless seeding leaf base and narrow distal now the limb. The midrib forms the major part of the leaf. These leaves possesses extra photosynthetic tissue in the form of closely set vertical plates of green cells. These are known as now the lamellae. Green lamellae act as a additional photosynthetic now tissues of Polytrichum. Now see within this diagram. Now Polytrichum it belongs to class Bryopsida. Now in case of Bryopsida, now the plant body it is not thalloid, it is distinguished into now the rhizoid axis and leaf-like structure. Now in case of Polytrichum, now the Sporophyte it is distinguished into now the fruit and long elongated seta and capsule. So the Sporophyte is differentiated into fruit, seta and capsule. Now in case of Polytrichum, now Sporophyte, now peristomal teeth are present for dehiscence and dispersal of spores. Now Polytrichum plant which is dioecious. Now the sex organs they are present on two different now the plant. So now this is regarding this Polytrichum now the plant. Thank you.